Welcome back, everybody. Okay, get this. According to the Wall Street Journal, over 60% of people living with a significant other have hidden purchases from their partner in the last year.
Oh, yeah. And here with tips on how to keep secret spending from snowballing, especially ahead of the holidays, is money expert and keynote speaker, Robyn Thompson. Welcome.
Okay, I'm gonna start the show with a question. I don't know who's comfortable sharing. You don't have to, but if you feel comfortable, who has hidden a purchase from a partner?
Oh, there's some people, I haven't, but there are some people who are reluctantly putting their hands
I get it.
I've had them hidden from me, but I've never hidden.
You've never hidden, Emma? Are you
No, because I made my own money, honey. I bought the boots.
Okay, and you have
I have not. Have you?
Never. No, never.
No.
My husband helps me spend.
Is that a common problem?
Yeah, actually 60% of people who live with their significant others have actually hid purchases in the last year.
60%?
60%. And so I think when you think about that, like why? Why would you still spend? We make our own money. Why would you feel the need to hide it?
Yeah.
And sometimes there's just a lot of judgment when it comes to our money. And people feel like, I'm not gonna tell them because what if they don't like it or they judge me or I feel like what I just did was wrong. So people live in this really weird place around shame. So instead of having conversation, they flat out lie.
Okay, so if anyone's looking for tips, if you're living with someone, how are you keeping purchases under wraps?
I know, people are sneaky. I mean, there's all different ways. It's one of those ones where it could be like the new shoes are on your feet, the old ones are in the gym bag in the back.
Right.
It could be the dry cleaning wrapping is on new clothes, not the dry cleaning.
Right.
You know, packages being shipped to your house or to your office, or when they come, you take them and you put them into a place in the house where your partner wouldn't look for them. If it's deceitful, you know you're doing it, but it's happening all over.
Right.
Wow.
Now, why can stealth spending potentially become dangerous?
I think that when you look at it, it really comes down to your values. At the end of the day, you are hiding. You are being dishonest with your partner. And in some cases, maybe you're being perhaps a bit dishonest with yourself. So I think that when you look at spending and you're like, okay, so I'm gonna spend and buy this amazing thing, you get that amazing dopamine hit when we buy something that we love. And then maybe it's gonna go into a little bit of guilt, like, ooh, that wasn't really in our budget, or can we afford that? And then you spiral into, what if I get caught? Like, what if they find it, right? And then to feel better, you're just gonna buy more. So you're just gonna continue that realm. So I think it's about, you know, really understanding what it means and is it valuable to you, because it can get out of control.
Okay, so let's say you're talking to the stealth spender right now, Robyn.
Yes.
So what are some tips to try to, I mean, if they're looking to rehabilitate. We don't know that they are, but let's say they are like, okay, you know what, I wanna get this in check before it gets out of control. What's your tip?
The first thing would be communication. So let's have a conversation with the people in our life about what we're spending. And sometimes it's just about, listen, this is what this costs. This is just the cost of this good. And I make my own money. And this is really where I feel the value is for myself. And so I think it's about getting ahead of that shame and being really strong with what it is that you feel value about. And then it's just about saying, okay, so this is my decision, this is your decision. And it takes away also some of your own filters. Because if you're going to your partner and you're saying, you know, I'm actually spending money on this really expensive pair of boots or this, you might catch yourself and say, oh, I actually don't find value in that anymore. So it's
saying it out loud almost.
Wow, now you have to be accountable for your purchase, and maybe that's not actually how you feel.
Yeah,
so it's about that.
That's a good one.
But sometimes I feel like you could justify it in the sense of like, if you get a really expensive pair of jeans, you can amortize that over, and the amount of wears
Cost
you can
per wear.
Cost per wear.
Yeah.
So you can justify it. Hot tip. Okay, anyway, but budgeting is an important part of also getting things under control, correct?
Yes, absolutely. And I'm cost per wear. I amortize everything. So, but budgeting is about finding a way to have freedom with your money. It's not meant to restrict you. It's meant to say, here's our assets. This is how we can actually be fulfilled in our life and the decisions that we make. So it's about smart spending. Where do you want to spend your money on? So when it comes to relationships, you could do a few things. I tend to look at a zero-sum method. So look at all the money that's coming into the household. Fixed expenses aside. Then you have your own discretionary spending, they have their discretionary spending, and you have one together. So you have a joint one where you can save towards family vacations or a pool or whatever you want to do together, but then have your own money. So you can be like, this is what's important to me. And then you take away the shame. Because you're no
take away
longer
the
feeling shame about what you're purchasing because you feel like you have agency and ownership over your own decisions. And I think that's really where it comes down to.
Okay, so let's talk strategies now. Like going back to the root of this, like strategies we can put in place to block out the noise that contributes to the stealth spending to begin with. Where do we start with that?
God, there's so much noise, right?
Yeah.
So much noise, especially now. We're gonna have Black Friday sales, we're gonna have Christmas sales. We're just gonna start to be inundated more than we already are. So I think that the good thing to do is to understand what do you value and how do you want to spend your money and how do you want the energy to come into your life? Because if you allow all these Instagrams and all the different sales and ads, it can inundate you. So block, delete, don't follow, uninfluence, just do all the things.
Oh, wow.
Be smart.
You say practicing gratitude can be a great way to combat stealth spending. So can you speak to that a little bit?
Yeah, so just ground yourself in what you already have. What can you be truly grateful for that you already have? Because you'll find that, you know, the shiny new thing, it wears off after a little while. Spend your time and your money on experiences, being with the people that you love. And not everything that you want to do has to cost money. Look for ways to like, figure it out.
True. Great tips just in time, I feel like, before all that noise gets into high gear. Robyn, thank you so much.
You're so welcome.
Thank you. All right, let's take a break. We'll be back right after this.
Hey, you, come a bit closer. We've got so many more must-see interviews, spicy debates, lifestyle tips, and pop culture moments. So subscribe to our channel by tapping the logo below and don't miss out.